Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Brad Thompson coming to you, uh, host of the new show, BT Ballers. I'm very happy to be here. This is the inaugural show. I want to thank Jay So Sweet from Michigan Sports Media Network. He is the founder. I'm on the show, the podcast that he has, but he's given me this first go around, and I'm excited to do it. So hey, we're gonna talk sports on here. We're gonna have some fun, and whatever happens, happens. So love me, hate me, I'll be around for a while. So hey, pleased to be joined again. First time was on our own podcast, but now with this one, joined by the coach Brian Tass. He is our resident college hoops MD. Coach, how you doing today?
Yeah, feeling good, a little bit tired after 12 and a half hours of basketball yesterday, but it's a grind and it's the best part of the year. Happy to be here.
Indeed, it is. Yes, Coach is definitely an expert. He's also a junkie. Nothing wrong with that. So, hey, Coach, let's get right into it because we got some Friday games to watch here. So,
Yeah.
U of M. I think we both agreed that it was gonna be pretty darn close, and it was pretty darn close. It was no place for a nervous person if you're a U of M fan. So, just to break down some things, Vladislav Gordon, he had 14 points for San Diego. Tyler McGee, he had 25 points. He missed the 3-pointer at the end there, with Wolf in his face.
Yeah.
And boy, what would have happened after that? Michigan led 14 at the half. So, uh, but hey, your thoughts on the game, please.
Michigan came out like a ball of fire, and it looked like to me like it was going to be a blowout. But they got a little cold for a while, and I thought did some things that weren't very smart. Um, get credit to UC because they played a pretty good game all the way through. They had a slow start. Listen, I hate to get on officials, but I will tell you this: last night was disgusting. It was disgusting. I thought they took UC right out of the game. Their best player sat on the bench for the last 7.5 minutes of the night. I don't agree with the way it was called in their direction. Every little bump and push, that was a foul on them. I won't say that Michigan had a better whistle. It just I thought it was a crime how the game was officiated, and it would have been a different outcome possibly had it not been. UC played really well in all aspects. They shot the ball well enough to stay in the game, have a chance, get the lead for a little bit there with a couple minutes to go. It was looking like they were going to actually win. But Michigan made a couple shots down the stretch and got to the free throw line. I said it. I said it earlier. It was going to come down to Michigan's guard play, and it really did. It really did. I thought there was a lot of times in the games where they could have put the game away. They went brain dead offensively, and defensively. Michigan's got a long way to go to be any good at guarding anybody. They really do. Uh, so, hey, congratulations, you advanced. You maybe didn't play your greatest game ever. The big guys did the job, which we said was going to have to happen. They did the job, and we'll see in the next round. We'll talk about that too.
Right. Something that obviously sticks out, and we'll talk about that is, we were worried about the turnovers when we last talked, and lo and behold, Michigan had 14 turnovers. They simply cannot do that. They're not
Nope.
going to win another game if they're in double digit turnovers. They're just not.
And they weren't turnovers where they made a tricky pass and it got taken away or anything. It was off the foot. It was they threw it into the band and things like this that are unexplainable. You can't do that in this tournament and be
No,
good in advance.
no, you definitely you can't. And I want to go back to Golden a little bit. Like I said, he had 14 points. But in the second half, he hit those two free throws to start the second half, and then he didn't score, I believe, until the final. What do we have here? The final
Yeah.
19 seconds.
UC did
Uh,
a great job. They double teamed them a little bit. They took away a couple of the post feeds. They jumped in the passing lanes. They weren't allowing Michigan to get him the ball uh, at the block area, which is where he does his business. Um, and I'll tell you what, and Michigan didn't do any adjusting to that. They put him down there. They tried to still feed him the ball. They couldn't get it in there. They did nothing with him. So for a good majority of the the second half, the middle of the second half, he wasn't even a factor.
No, no, he really wasn't. Danny Wolf, he played okay. He played okay. I'd give him maybe a B minus. Did you see anything that stood out or anything that?
No, I think that's accurate. B minus. He played his game. He's like I said, I like him a lot. I think he's got an inside outside game. He can handle the ball. But last night I got a little bit more convinced that Dusty May's got some work to do. In a game like that where they had the tools to do some things, they kind of were a little bit ragged and helter skelter. And it didn't. I said this. I'm still waiting for what Michigan's go-to calling card is on offense, and I can't pick it out, Brad. I can't see it.
No, to be honest, I really didn't see it. I really didn't see it either. Uh, we went in knowing that San Diego was a great, great defensive team. We talked about that, and we talked about how their guard play can get after you. They're pretty tenacious. I would have liked to have seen personally. I would have liked to have seen. I sung his praises last time we talked, but Trey Henderson, come on, baby, you got to do more. You got to do more. I don't know how you feel about it, but if I didn't know who he was, if you didn't know who he was, it would be almost okay. He's here.
Kind of
Cool.
would have just been another guy, and thankfully Michigan had a couple other guards that stepped up a little bit last night too. Otherwise, it could have been a really bad ending.
Right, right. So as you said, there's a hell of a lot of. Hey, they got today to look at film and stuff. There's a hell of a lot of work to do because hey, this doesn't get any easier. This is going to ratchet up another
Yep.
notch.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I'm going to say it's going to ratchet up another 3 notches because now you have Texas A&M. Just some things out there. They beat Yale by 9. I don't think it was really that close.
No.
Yale gave them a game. Jace Carter, in my opinion, their best player. He had 5 points down the stretch to pull away late in the game. Guy that came out for him. All right. The center, and this is where I want to talk to you a little bit about it in a little bit here. Farrell Payne, he was their unsung hero with 25 points. He doesn't score that many. I mean, I think Yale really didn't have anybody that could work him that hard. But when you see 25 points from a center, you automatically reflect to, hey, yo, Golden, what you going to do? Let's talk a little bit on that.
Yeah, I think that matchup is going to be key in that game, and I think we're going to see almost a replay of Michigan State games where Texas A&M is athletic. They got a couple bigs that are serviceable. Their guards are okay. They're aggressive and athletic. They're going to try to jump passing lanes and cause turnovers. If Michigan has a replay of last night, they're not moving on. That's just how I see it.
Well, this is what I mean. I'm not going to compare A&M much to MSU. All right, but what I saw with MSU, you say being athletic, MSU just ran. I mean, yeah, granted, senior night, I get all that. Still shouldn't happen. MSU ran Michigan out of the gym.
Uh-huh.
All right, last time
Twice.
they faced each other.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, it's because you love sports. If you love sports, why not show that love with some new gear, like the 2 jerseys behind me? Fanatics has a lot of stuff on sale right now, and if you go down in the description, click the link of whatever team that you want, it'll take you to the Fanatics page, buy some stuff, and we get a small portion. It'll help us out, and you'll get some discounts on some good gear.
I don't know. I see A&M doing the same. Michigan is not that athletic. Okay, Danny Wolf for a big man is, but they're not athletic. And I'll tell you what, you get those guys on a break, and they run you up and down. We could be looking at something real ugly here. I hate to say it. I want Michigan to win, of course, but I don't know. What do you see? I see them running like crazy.
I see them running like crazy too. They want to score a lot of points, and the average for them is a lot of points. Michigan isn't like I said. I'm still working on trying to figure out what is their calling card on offense. Are they going to slow this game down? Are they going to try to do 3-4 ball screens before they get an open look? I don't see it, and so since I don't see it, there's not that discipline there for them to control the game. You play defense on both ends, whether or not you know that. On offense, if you've got the ball, they can't score. And Michigan just does not do a good job of possessing the ball with a purpose and enough to stop a team like A&M from running around.
No, that that doesn't make U of M fans. Doesn't make me. That doesn't make me too.
Yeah, I'm very concerned if, as a Michigan fan, if you were one, I'd be very, very concerned about, how we match up against the way that they play. And, frankly, the way they played last night. I know a win is a win in this tournament, but you got to do better.
Did they were the favorite in this game, not by much. Did they look a little starry eyed to you though?
Last night, no, they
Yes.
came out with a great punch. I think they were up 9 or 10 to nothing to start the game.
Yeah.
Kind of looked good. They made a bunch of buckets early. And I look, where you can watch a team play separately, but then when you put two teams on one court and you see them match up, I was like, this is not even going to be close. UC did not have a lot of size at all. They couldn't guard either big at all, matchup wise. Their calling card was to hang in the game. They were very disciplined on offense. They got some good open looks. They got second chances. Which there's another thing last night that I thought Michigan did not do a good job of was cutting out and blocking out. They gave up too many second chances. So,
Well, they better clean that up because I'll
yeah,
tell you what, if they don't, Farrell Payne is going to go to town around the rim.
he'll have a field day.
Yeah.
We'll
Something I
see.
want to talk about a little bit, and it doesn't just deal with this young man. I think it deals with an issue, not just in college basketball, but an issue in college sports. Uh, Jace Carter, he's the dude at A&M. That's what everybody was expecting him to be, and he's had a decent year. Don't get me wrong; he had 5 points down the stretch. They won, but I was looking at the local things online today, and I looked at an interview, and this makes me want to puke. Is when a young man, and granted, NIL people say, "Well, he's getting paid like in bullshit." Okay, this young man is 19. I'm not sure, 19, 20 years old. And like he said, he's like, I'm getting death threats. I'm getting racial slurs online. This is not the Joe or the Jim Crow fucking era anymore. This is disgusting. Hey, if you want to make a bet and you're a goddamn idiot and you bet, you don't bet within your means, okay? I'm sorry don't fucking come at a kid because your dumbass decided to bet and lose. This is they're doing commercials about this now where they're saying please, and I mean obviously nothing surprises anymore, but look at the point we've gotten to.
Yeah, that's where we are. Brad, when I was in college, we were in college. Back in those days, these kids went to this tournament, and part of the tournament deal was they would get presentation by authorities. Let's say, I don't know if this is the FBI or what, but they would come in and they would talk about this kind of stuff. It's a distraction to you being in the tournament. You're going to get people are going to, want tickets. They're going to want stuff. They're going to want, money and things and all these stuff. You have to hold your line at what's legal and not legal, but you got to have some blinders on because this stuff is going to happen. And this was 25 years ago that I'm talking about, that they had to come in and talk to the players about this stuff. I can't imagine now. I don't even know what they say in there anymore because there's no rules anymore. Really, seems like it.
There are no rules. I think we all know that it's a very polarizing world out here right now. I think we also know that mental health it's huge, and there's not enough funding. There's not enough
Yeah,
places. We've got some wackadoos walking around that should be in homes.
yeah,
Okay, so nowadays you don't know how far stuff goes. These kids don't deserve it. It just it's not going to get any better either unless they start ratcheting up some things. Sure, they've got the big brothers out there, and I'm not going to get political here, but you get what I mean.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
everybody sees everything now. It like I said, I won't talk too much long. I won't talk about it any longer. But there's some sick people out there, so grow up. All right, go see a shrink, you freaking wackadoos. It's not funny. I'm saying it.
now,
Go seek help. Okay, seek help. So moving on then, I like doing the fill in the blanks with you here. I really do.
yep.
So here we go. For Michigan to win, they have to.
For Michigan to win, they have got to take care of the basketball better in this game and do something on offense that causes a problem. It's hard to guard. It's spacing. It's something that I can at the end of the day go, that's why they won because they did this. and I haven't seen it yet. So I think that taking care of the basketball is going to be critical to them and getting the two big guys at least 20 points apiece.
All right, that sounds good. It sounds good.
Yeah.
But is it going to happen? Okay, for Texas A&M to win, they have to.
A&M wins by driving to the paint. The Michigan guards can't guard people. They just have this. They haven't done it yet. I haven't seen it yet, so I want to see that. But I think A&M has to penetrate. If they do that, they're going to get a lot of buckets. They're going to get to the foul line. They'll kick out for threes. They'll get their big guy involved. But Michigan does not do a good job stopping penetration, so they got to go. They got to get downhill.
Big challenge.
Okay.
Big challenge.
Yeah.
Let's go national a little bit here. Boy, what a game! Just watching two Titans go at it on the sideline last night. Arkansas and Kansas. Arkansas came over some pretty big injuries. It was a good win versus Kansas. John Calipari. I don't care what really anybody says. He kind of got ran out of Kentucky. All right, he just it wasn't happening for him there anymore.
Yeah.
So he resurfaces back at Arkansas. He got his win. The team got the win, but he got the win under his belt. So not a big fan. I feel good for him though. Okay.
I thought they played good. They played a good game. There was either team could have won that one. It was pretty close all the way, but Arkansas played the better game all the way around. All their kids stepped up. You know.
Two things I saw is when they really struggled with that zone though.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to come out seeing a lot of zones from here on out, however far they go.
Yeah, or teams who play them, yeah, but they'll struggle against the zone a little bit. I agree with that. I agree with that, but there is no reason. There is no reason Kansas loses that game on paper. There is no reason, and we can make the joke out of it over here all the time. Kansas is the choker. You never pick them in the tournament because they're going to choke. And what do? They show up and they don't show up. How does Hunter Dickinson have 0 points in an entire half of college basketball? That kid. That's impossible. I mean, there's no explanation for it other than that the game plan stunk. It just stunk. They should not have lost that game.
No, indeed they shouldn't. And it breaks a streak, and I didn't know this, but it breaks a streak of 35 straight appearances. Now, not consecutively, but 35 straight appearances broken because of a first-round loss.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, now, granted, I agree with what you said. Yes, I'm not going against it, but, because when they get down, further down, it's hard to play with your hands around your throat. And that's what Kansas does when it gets further down, like except that 1 year. Okay, I'll give Self that 1 year. But yeah, I mean, Dr. Dickerson, the reason why I call him doctor is, for Christ's sake, he's literally in his 7th year. So as the Tommy boy says, David Spade, that's what we call doctors.
Yeah, he's been around. It's good to not to have him on my TV anymore. I'm not a fan.
No, neither am I. I think half of his last name definitely fits him well. Yeah. Hunter Dickerson. You know what? The last hated guy I think this much in college basketball was Christian Laettner, and I would honestly rather watch Christian Laettner than this piece of shit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Every day.
And well, we don't have to hear him anymore because he'll be overseas in China, and he'll get booed out of the gym there too. So, moving on. This is one where I go, and we talked about it, where I go, God damn it, I knew I should have taken this one. And that would be the Drake-Missouri game. Before we talk about it here, this is the first time, this is the first time since 1971 that the Bulldogs are advancing. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, they did blow a big lead, but they did hang on. So, thoughts on that game?
Missouri didn't show up. I never saw them do anything yesterday. They couldn't make free throws. They never played well as a team. It looked like a phys ed team out there. I think maybe they thought they were they thought they had it in the bag showing up. because they were the bigger seed. But Drake played really well. They played really well. I was impressed by their team. I wouldn't want to play them tomorrow. They're pretty good. They proved themselves.
They're definitely on a hot streak, like we talked about. I
Yep.
mean, they're now 31-4. They're 19 out of their last 20. What I liked was the comments from the coach. He said, "Hey, we go in every game. We expect to win, and that's a mindset. That's
Yeah.
a mindset. In fact, real quick back to Izzo, and I don't want to go off. We can talk about him tomorrow, but back to Izzo, and this is what I think this coach is thinking, is 90% of the game is already won before the game's even played. A little Sun Tzu action there, and I think their coach, and I think this team is going by the right mindset there.
That's accurate, and that'll take them a long way. That'll take them a long way. I mean, their next matchup, Brad, is we can look at the bracket here to see where they're at next. They got what?
Texas Tech.
Oh yeah, okay. And we'll see what Texas Tech does today, and then we'll be able to kind of make an assessment of those two teams matched up. But if that's Drake's mindset and they step on the floor and they're not afraid of anybody, look out.
Right. Now, I jumped the gun a little there on Texas Tech. I know they're playing UC University of North Carolina Wilmington, who's been to the tournament a lot. Yeah. So I probably jumped the gun, a little premature speculation there. So I apologize. One thing I kind of got a kick out of is the SEC. And believe me, it's a basketball conference now, not a football conference, but their slogan is it just means more. Well, okay, but the AD came out and he said, I just like these funny quips. He goes, well, I guess it meant more to us tonight. So
works for me. That's great. That's great stuff.
So little fun there.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's get to my favorite here. The one I picked. The one I went out on a limb for.
The one you went on a limb for, and the one that we both laughed about, and there it was.
The McNeese State Fighting Cowboys. Wow. What can I say? They had a 31-13 lead at halftime. Then Clemson said, oh, you know what? We'll fucking wake up. But guess what? It didn't happen. They clawed their way back. I mean, they couldn't have 13 points. Hello. This looked like a football score. All right. This looked like South Carolina beating Dabo Swinney 31-13 at halftime. I digress. But, they're so deep. They are so deep where they can outlast you, man. And that's almost what they had to do down, in the second half against Clemson. Very, very deep team. Your thoughts on that?
Dogs. They're dogs. I'm convinced. I'm a fan. I want to see them. I want to see them come out of there, and they got another couple games to win. I think they could beat Houston if you look at possibly what could happen, or Gonzaga or whatever.
Gonzaga. Yeah. They have
that team. That team last night, that McNeese team, they came out and they were tough and scrappy, gritty. Those guys were out there for blood, and they played like they had nothing to lose. And I'm not talking about Opie and Andy from the middle of nowhere. These guys, they played hard. They're skilled. They're gonna take good shots. I was impressed. Very, very impressed. Very impressed by the coaching. Coach kind of kept everything, funneled to the right direction. Even when Clemson was making a run, they didn't panic. They didn't start doing stupid things. They just kept to the game plan. And I like them a lot.
Well, it kind of segues into, the coaching part. And Will Wade, hey, I'm not going to sit here and dispute. This guy can flat out coach. Let me harken back, though, as you know, 3 years ago when he was at LSU, let's just say he got into a wee little bit of trouble. And he stood there and he grandstanded and he denied everything. Denied, doubled down. See, that didn't work out for him. He was asked to leave. How about that? He was asked to leave. And he shows up in his state. And now the worst kept secret here is he's got a foot out the door to go to North Carolina State. All right. Okay. All right. I don't know if I would buy a used car.
Yeah, there's going to be all that kind of stuff going on this weekend. That's always how it goes. We'll see.
I don't think it's distracted them, though. I
No,
definitely don't think it's
nobody
distracted.
wants that. Like they got a shot. They got a shot here. They actually have a legitimate shot to do some things, and I don't think they want all that crap going on. They just want to get it done.
Right. They their next round matchup, I do know because I am so looking forward to it. They play the Boilermakers of Perdon't. Okay, and for you fans out there, I do not say the word. Okay, it's like the school up north. Okay, we don't use the letter M for Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
Perdon't. I have got my McNeese State Cowboy shirt on its way right now from Amazon. We all
You
know
might be wearing
Purdue.
it, Coach. You might be wearing it. I can't imagine the scenario where Purdue plays like they did yesterday and they win that game. They played good enough to win against High Point, who I thought played really well too. It was a good game all the way through. But Purdue this year has not made me a fan. I mean, a fan of the basketball that they're playing. I don't know what they're doing out there. They're better than this. They are actually are a better team than this, and they're just not playing very well for whatever reason for weeks. And I think they'll get beat. I really do.
I feel so bad for Purdue. I feel so bad. It's just a shame. It really is. A little good news for Purdue though. Purdue is Foster Lawyer can get some. I'm sorry. Is it Foster?
No, Fletcher.
Foster
Fletcher.
Fletcher. Like there's a difference. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Uh, he can make some serious NIL money. Because he is going to be a prime candidate for Rogaine.
Purdue has had one of those kids since I can farther remember. Brian Cardinal, you remember him?
Oh, I certainly do.
I mean, he looked like I do when he was 18 years old.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they are. Purdue has always had the comb over kid, and I think that maybe that was a Gene Katie calling card, but they've always had the one comb over kid. But yeah, you're right. Fletcher Lawyer he's on his way there.
Yeah, I bet Gene Katie had to recruit some of those guys because I'm telling you, he must have an eye for those for the king of the comb over Katie. All right. Actually,
Anyway, he's a great player. I love watching him. He's one of the glue guys for their team. If they're going to win, it's because of him.
right.
They got they're the other guard they got that's a shooter. I forget his name. Smith, I think it is. Great shooter, great player. He's pretty solid. Their bigs to me, their forwards are streaky. So that'll be one of their downfalls if they're not going to win. They're not going to. The bigs won't be able to handle McNeese being a strength, a powerhouse. They're going to go. They get 17-second shots because they work so hard. I like McNeese in that matchup.
I want to say it. I want to say it, but I don't want to come in here and look with egg on my face from Purdue. I really don't. But I will celebrate. Oh, I will celebrate. Ugh, I just it's Perdon't. It's just Perdon't. While we're on some kicks about making guys look like they're 40 and stuff, did you see that center last night for Wofford?
Yeah, yeah.
God bless,
Big guy.
God bless the kid, but he looked like he was a 40-year-old dude that was in a church rec league in the D division.
They got him out of the IM building there.
But he did actually. You know what? He
did
played
the job.
pretty damn well.
He was doing. He's a pretty good player.
Right. Something else, and we can talk about him, tomorrow, is Lanier from Tennessee. I got a feeling his name is going to be called very early in the NBA draft.
That's why I think Tennessee has been one of the more solid teams of the whole season, consistently, and being up in the top couple teams. They've just been hard to guard. He's a great player. I think in this tournament they're just one of those teams where I have no doubt that they're going to end up being a contender for the Final Four. They're good, and there's no downfall to that team. There's no hole to that team. They've got a lot of things put together. They're just hard to pick them apart.
They played in the toughest conference in America, and they've got a veteran coach in Coach Barnes.
Yeah.
So they can go a long, long, long way. And They can. Anything else that stood out to you last night?
BYU was solid. Wisconsin, I thought, played a solid game yesterday. That was good. The big I went on and on about how good I thought Georgia was and that they could, do some things. And I got egg on my face for that because Gonzaga beat the crap out of them. It wasn't even close. I think Georgia had 3 points for about 25 minutes in the first half. It just they stunk. St. John's looked good. They're just going to be. It's going to be a fun game when they play Arkansas. That'll be fun to watch. Other things that just stood out to me was like this is one and done going home time. If you don't come out and give it your best swing, there's no time to fix things. You got to come fixed. And like going back to the Michigan game, they came fixed out to get a good start, but then they thought they had it in the bag. You can't think you got it in the bag. You got to go the whole way. So we'll see. Michigan State tonight, Brad. I'll say one more thing about it. The closer we get to the game, the closer I think that this game is going to be. I think Brian is more equal to us than people will give us credit for. We got a freshman who we talked way up, and he's had a great season in Jace Richardson. But this kid has got a lot of weight on his back for us to win, and he needs to show up. But we need some of his teammates to give us some help. Brian's no slouch, and we're gonna have to come out with it,
folks. Just so you know, I've known this man for over 20 years, and he's like a brother to me. Okay, but every single time, an hour before game time, he pulls the loopholes. I just know how. I just know how we're going to do it. Brian. Dude, relax. You got this, okay? You got this. So, you will be sleeping well. You'll be going to bed late, but you will be sleeping well. And I will definitely, I will be nursing you, obviously, per usual.
I'm gonna need it
through this game. So, hey, we'll wrap it up here.
Let's get to the game time. It's game time.
It's game time. I know you want to go. Folks, thank you for letting me come in today. This is the BT Baller Show. Joined by Coach Tass, our College Hoops MD. Thank you, Coach.
All right.
We'll
thank you for having me on.
Everybody, see you next time.
Bye-bye.